Good afternoon, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Coming up momentarily here on Speed Gaming as part of the Speed Gaming Espanol Hispanic Speedrunning Marathon. I am proud to present you with three highly talented and experienced Super Mario Bros. 3 speedrunners who will be racing in the Randomizer. The racers I'm speaking of course, are Darth Ikaros from Honduras, highflyer28 of Ecuadorian and Puerto Rican background, and Timehouse from Paraguay. I'm Teeks88 and hope everyone's doing well. I will now be, it's now worth taking a moment just to do a rundown of what flags we'll be serving up. This sea contains the following flags. All forts and levels are shuffled, including betas, shuffled pipe entries, no end card game. Hammers will not break locks, although we will have the World 1 rock being breakable, so you have a potential 2-level skip there. You have Fast Boss Bass. Angry Sun activates sooner than usual, and you have randomized coupling HP, so you can defeat him in maybe anywhere from 1 to 5 hits. Potentially randomized Boom Boom HP, and you have adjusted hitboxes for Bowser and Koopaling hitboxes. So no more cuddle strats in Bowser's Castle, so got to be a little bit more cautious with his leaps and his fireballs. So it looks like, everybody's setting up, and we're going to be counting down in about 10 more seconds. And Highflyer just wanted me to let you guys know, like right before the race starts, that he will only be using one item per world as just a personal challenge to him, and just as a little more swag to show off to you, the viewers. So best of luck to our three racers. And we're starting off with the World 2 map, Desert World, and we're starting off with 7-9, so not the kind of level you typically want to do clipping strats in, and that is a really rough enemy stats to start off with. So we have the Batuis that usually show up in levels like 7-8 or some of the World 6 levels. So they're going to be making their way across. Tannhaus missed the jump there a couple times. Highflyer's doing a good job maintaining his power up. And he's going to do a duck jump for that fire flower. Very, very nice. Ooh, and Ikaros gets the mid clip, so it looks like she's going to be one of the first ones out of here, and she is, so she takes an early lead. Yeah, looks like Highflyer's going to get the second one out of there. So, yeah, with Ikaros in the lead, we'll switch audio over to her, if that is possible. Oh wait, she doesn't have usable audio, that's okay. But she looks like next up we're going to be having 4F2, so she's going to equip the tail. Looks like, Highflyer tried to do explore the route a little bit, but it looks like that fort is going to be required in order for everyone to progress. Alright, so Ikaros is the first to finish off Boom Boom, and Highflyer catches up by a couple of seconds with that fire kill. So now that the lock is broken, next up we have 3-4. So this is going to be a relatively smooth level, regardless of what the enemy set is going to be. So pretty fun level to P-speed through. Pick up a leaf along the way. Hammer picks, Highflyer does a bro fight, and he gets a pretty early hammer, so because of that, he's going to be able to skip those 2 levels. So he just zips right ahead because of the routing. Very nice RNG on his side. And up next on Ikaros' side, she's going to be playing 7-7. So she's going to damage boost out of the tail. So she's going to, it's especially important because she's going to want to P-speed out through for the remainder of this level in order to make it past those munchers in time. Alright, Tannhaus is finishing up 3-4, and Highflyer is going to be the first one into the airship, and it's going to be World 3 airship. And he gets the wall jump, very nice. He was very fortunate with his timing and his sub-pixels, so he's going to save a little bit of extra time as he makes his way over to Morton, who's going to be in the in Wendy's arena. Does he get the fire kill? Unfortunately not. So he's going to take 1 hit, 2 hits, 3, 4. Ooh, we have a salty Morton today. And looks like we have a divergence in paths between Tannhaus and Ikaros, so he's going to be opting to take 3-2 instead. So really not a bad level in Randomizer by comparison to the vanilla game. All right, so everybody get your guesses in chat. What's the next world we're going to be seeing? I'm going to go with World 4. I'd love to see a world like World 4 show up pretty early just because you get a good number of early bro fights, start to build up an inventory, and more often than less it tends to be a pretty linear routing. But it looks like it's going to be 5 instead, and we're going to be doing the quicksand level, so the infamous Angry Sun level without the Angry Sun, but we do get sniped by that Cheep Cheep that just came out of thin air. That's quite unfortunate. And Ikaros is going to be the second one to finish off World 2, so she finishes up the 5-hit Morton, and she'll be joining Highflyer in World 5 shortly. Tannhaus not too far off behind. Oh, and he gets Power Goomba too, so yeah, this is allowing Ikaros a little bit of extra time to catch up. Yeah, the Angry Sun level is especially infamous for these those sort of randomly appearing Cheep Cheeps, so really got to be careful, especially when you're small. Alright, so Ikaros got her P-Speed, so she's going to be, she's only like about 30 seconds behind Highflyer, and Tannhaus is going to be joining both of our other runners in World 5 as well. Oh, we had 2-3, so this is one of those levels you really don't like to see early when you have a limited inventory, because this always has a very brutal enemy layout, and the level layout in general doesn't lend itself to much comfort, so they're both going to have to be very, very careful here, especially with that Angry Sun just looming over when you're trying to break those blocks to get to the pipe. But yeah, Ikaros is going to be making some really good use of those fly strats. That's a very good idea on a level like this. So yeah, Ikaros just caught up a very tremendous amount with just being able to hit that P-switch and just skip the whole block-breaking procedure altogether, so very nicely done on her end. And up next we have 2-5, so this is generally a pretty tame level in Randomizer, up until you get to the end, so at that point it just becomes, you have to get very lucky to make sure that you don't have a Koopa set that will just snipe you in thin air when you're just trying to P-speed to the end, so it's not going to be a problem for either of them, and with the added tail advantage, it lends itself to a little bit more cautious because of the reduced speed. 7-1 is up next, so this is normally a level that would be a vertical scroller or like a vertical platformer, but all of our runners are going to attempt to clip it. But it is going to be a sub-pixel dependent trick, and there's going to be some timing involved with that jump just to make sure you get into that corner of that wall. And Highflyer is going to be the first one out. And yeah, because of that reduced speed that you have with the tail, it's going to make the clip a little bit harder. So yeah, up next we have the World 6 airship. And I don't think that Ikaros has any other power-ups in her inventory to just be regular Big Mario, so looks like she's going to opt just to play the level normally. She doesn't want to spend too much more time in there than she has to. Oh, and Tannhaus, yeah, getting sniped out by that Koopa towards the end of 2-5, so that's pretty rough. So yeah, he's going to probably want to grab that mushroom right in the beginning. Very nice. Ikaros is doing a very fine job making her way past those plants in 7-1. Yeah, very, very tough timing with just trying to avoid the Fire Venus at the end. So it's gonna be a one. Gonna want to be careful with that Fire Chomp, and she's out of there. Oh, she came so close. All right, and Tannhaus is up next with 7-1. Meanwhile, Ikaros just finishes it. And up next, we're gonna have the World 6 layout. So yeah, this is one of the longer maps that you'll encounter in Randomizer and in the vanilla game in general. So this is one of those worlds that really lends itself to potentially good shortcuts with the hammer. So I'm sure Highflyer is really happy to see that. So he has a decision to make. Does he go breaking that lock to see what's beyond those pipe transitions? Does he go exploring, or does he see those forts and play them so it doesn't potentially backfire, you know, towards the end of the map? So he's gonna use his hammer. He's gonna go exploring a bit. Yeah, this is definitely a good choice on his end. He's especially happy about that. So yeah, we've got a one and done World 4. You'll love to see that. All right. Meanwhile, we have Ikaros and just finishing up World 5. Tannhaus not too far behind. He's going to be facing the boss as well. So we'll see if both of our other runners are going to be picking up that same hammer and joining the Highflyer shortly. Yeah, it looks like Highflyer had a little bit of thinking to do about what he wanted to do with the routing. So we'll see if they'll be able to fill up that time gap by just reacting more instinctively to what's in front of them. Alright, Ikaros is going for that bro fight, but is it the hammer? I do believe so, and it is. So will she be taking advantage of it accordingly? Oh no, Ikaros is going to opt to the golden rule, see a fort, play a fort. I think she probably had the same thought process that I had mentioned before, so she probably wanted to take a risk and you know, not have to potentially backtrack in case there was something blocking the path towards the end of World 6. So can't really blame her for that. That's totally understandable. But yeah, it looks like all of them are going to be encountering the same bro fight. Tannhaus is going to be getting his hammer as well. Right, and Highflyer is going to be wrapping up 5F2. Otherwise known as the Jesus Clip Fort, just because of that clip you can do, you know, potentially risking death in the lava on that first screen, and it takes you right to Boom Boom. Alright, we have the pyramid up next. Oh, and Ikaros is playing both forts. So yeah, up next is going to be 7F2, also known as Piranha Fort. So yeah, pretty unfortunate that yeah, she's not going to be taking advantage of that that hammer. And yeah, the two forts she did end up playing ended up being some of the longest in the game, unfortunately, just barring 8F. So yeah, gonna really want to be careful in a level like 7F2. But she's making it out there very smoothly. And yeah, Tannhaus is going to be taking advantage of that hammer, and he's going to be the first one out. I mean, he's going to be the second one out of World 6. So, yeah, just as another reminder, the hammers do not break locks. So, kind of running out of places where they could potentially break any more rocks, if not in World 6 or 2 anymore. So the only place left is going to be World 4, and at the very most, it's only going to be able to allow you to skip one level. Alright, so Ikaros is in the World 4 airship now. She's going to be building up that early peace piece so she can just skip over all the obstacles. And Tannhaus is going to be joining Highflyer in World 1, just as Highflyer starts to wrap it up with the World 7 airship. Looks like Highflyer tried to go for that early P-speed, but wasn't enough forward momentum because he just built the P-speed fairly late. But he'll have a second chance here as he ducks underneath that section, and yeah, just some very smooth platforming from there on out. But yeah, routing differences aside, just shout out to all three of our runners who are just putting on a clinic with all these levels that we're seeing right now. So definitely be sure to give them a follow. They're doing a fantastic job. All right, so oh yes, that's right. I forgot about that. So yeah, the Rockin' World one is breakable with the hammer. So yeah, they'll both have an opportunity to use it there. Meanwhile, High Flyer's next world is going to be World 7. So this is definitely one of those world layouts where it's like you see a fort, play a fort, because there's you never want to run the risk of having to backtrack through all those shuffled pipe transitions. And yeah, I know that's been a meme in the SMB3 randomizer community where if you see 3F2 in any world other than World 8, then it's an invalid seed. Just because the randomizer's algorithm, more often than less, 3F2 ends up being the key that you need in order to unlock the path to Bowser. So if it shows up anywhere other than World 8, it just doesn't seem right. Ooh, bit of a mishap in the pyramid there. Ikaros losing her Fire Flower, but she makes it out of there, no problem. Meanwhile, High Flyer's doing the round, just doing a little bit of exploring as he tries to make his way over to Ludwig's castle. So he's going to pick up a mushroom right there in 4-2. And yeah, because of the movement cycle on those platforms, he's going to have to reroute his way to the pipe a little bit differently, but he makes it out of there, no problem. Alright, looks like High Flyer found the Promised Land, so the only thing keeping him from Ludwig is 3-1. So it's a pretty easy level. Just jump over that wall, and you skip more than half of the level you would normally do if you were swimming. So yeah, he's able to maintain his P-speed while swimming, and he grabs another Fire Flower along the way. Meanwhile, Ikaros is going to be finishing up the World 1 airship, which is World 7. And yeah, Townhouse is in 4-2. So yeah, up until this point, I don't think that anybody's picked up a Fire Flower or a Hammer Suit, so they're going to probably hope for one of those between these last few worlds, so they have an easy way to defeat Bowser. Because being able to, even being so much as able to fire kill Bowser, that saves about 40 seconds over just letting him break that floor. Alright. High Flyer is wrapping up Ludwig. Alright, so this leaves us with worlds 3 and 4 left before we go to 8. What's it gonna be? World 4, okay. Alright, so we have 2 bridges, only one of which is going to be required, so we know there's going to be 2 corresponding forts. So we'll see if the one that's right in front of us is going to end up being key. Gotta say, 18 minutes for the course of 6 worlds, so this has actually been a very fast seed, relatively speaking. So yeah, Ikaros is in World 7 right now, and she's going to be doing the same see a fort, play a fort principle. She's going to be wrapping up 3F2, so she should have a clear path to World 7 right now, to the World 7 castle right now. Pretty linear overall. And we have a 5-hit Boom Boom on High Flyer's side. All right, it looks like Tanhouse is going to be the next one into World 4. Oh, one of those levels that especially becomes more difficult in Randomizer is 4-6. Yeah, you don't always have an enemy set that lends itself to some early P-speed and some relatively smooth platforming, so some caution here is especially going to be justified. Oh, and he got hit by those Kaiser blocks, so it's going to be down to power-up, so see if he's able to make it through there smoothly, and he gets has some unfortunate encounters with that big Koopa, so looks like that wasn't the required fort, so he's going to have to backtrack to the other one. So we're gonna be in for a relatively long World 4. So, and with that death, that allows our runners to do a little bit of catching up. So, looks like Ikaros is doing a good job making the rounds through World 7, and Penthouse is finishing up that same 5-hit boom from before. So yeah, he's going to be just starting 4-6. Oh, that was some really close. That was a really close call on Tanahas's side at 4-6. If he had, yeah, it is possible to keep that P-speed there, doing that same strategy he did. But I think that his turnback was a little too harsh, so it slowed him down just enough to fall into the pit and not make it past the plant. So, pretty tough break on his side. And yeah, it looks like Ikaros is almost done with World 7, so she's just one Piranha level away, and she'll be encountering Ludwig as well. Once again, not being able to keep P-speed on Tanhouse's side, but he is able to finish up 4-6, no problem. Meanwhile, we have High Flyer still maintaining his lead as he makes his way through the World 2 airship. As he's going to encounter Iggy, and it looks like he's going to be his usual jumpy self. And he's going to be 2, 3 hits, 4, and another 5-hitter. And yeah, you may often see the runners jumping towards that wall right as they're defeating the Koopalings. It looks like they're trying to wall jump onto the far right side so that they can jump across and try to catch the wand off screen. And getting an off-screen wand grab does allow you to save about 4 seconds because it skips the whole falling cutscene in the sky. Alright, so just as High Flyer is wrapping up World 4, Ikaros is starting it. And yeah, Tanhouse has just completed the required fort to open the bridge, so he's going to be facing Iggy as well. Alright, Ikaros is going to be encountering Super Tank while oh, for a minute I thought that Tanhouse had the P-Wing, so that would have made the off-screen one grab much easier, but nope, just a regular tail, and he's going to do his 5 hits, and he's out of here. Yeah, over on the World 3, we're going to just be opening with the fort, so that could very well just be the one to open the path to Wendy, so is that going to be the case? Do we have a one and done? So he used this cloud because he doesn't have any hammers to break any more rocks, and it's going to be a linear path to get to the next pipe transition. So, yeah, he's towards the end of the seed now. He's probably thinking, you know, just use it or lose it. And it turns out that fort was the answer. So, yeah, just that pipe transition away, and he's going to be facing Wendy. And he's going to be well equipped with that fire kill. More often than less, she tends to delay in the. Oh no! Highflyer got the wall jump, but he just didn't have enough height in order to actually make it on top. I couldn't tell if he released A too early, but you could see the look on his face. He was not happy about that. Yeah, Ikaros is going to be finally encountering the required fort in order to get to Iggy. And yeah, Tenas is going to be making his way over to 7-8. I don't think he had a cloud because I don't think we've seen this before. So I think this was the level after the fort. Yes, yes, Chad. Do get your guesses in. How many bridges are we going to see blocking the path to Bowser? I don't think we saw any locks on the first screen, so the dream is still alive. Are we going to see a full clear on World 8, or are we going to see another one and done? Oh, there was a lock. Okay. Alright, so Highflyer is doing his exploring in the dark room, and yeah, he has a couple of pipe transitions open to him, and he also has the possibility of gambling on that tank. Yeah, I think that alright, Highflyer is going to backtrack and take his chances. Probably curious to see where the Valley of Bowser is. Okay, so he's got some more information now, so he doesn't have to worry about, like, whatever path he takes is going to backfire and take him back to the first screen. Okay, so yeah, he may as well play that tank, because even though it's not a fort that'll unlock anything, he still has to play it anyway, so may as well get it out of the way, and it is 6-7. And meanwhile, we have Tanhouse is going to be joining Highflyer in World 8 very shortly. And Ikaros is going to be finishing up World 3. So she's going to have that same cloud that Highflyer did. So she just has to play this fort. And yeah, she's really not that far behind. Yeah, very close race between all three of our runners. This has been a real pleasure to watch. All right, so we have Tanhouse making his way out of the 7-6 beta, affectionately known as Niagara Falls. Oh, so she is actually going to use her cloud. That's a very interesting choice. Yeah, she's going to be playing 7-8 as Tanhouse did, and Highflyer found his way over to Bowser, so he's got his hammer suit equipped and he's ready to go. But yeah, once again, you're gonna want to be a little bit more cautious with the adjusted hitboxes, and he gets the elevator clip, very nice. That's gonna save him about 1.5 seconds. Gets the everyman's clip, and yeah, also worth noting that in the statue room, the fireballs are going to be randomized, so rather than run the risk of losing the hammer suit or potentially getting lasered by one of those statues, yeah, the meta for Randomizer is to just clip in this section and it takes you directly to Bowser. It's a little bit slower that way, but a lot less risky. But Highflyer doesn't want to take his chances. He doesn't know how much of a lead he has right now, so he's just gonna exercise caution wherever he can. Fortunately, no lasers. Hi Bowser, and bye Bowser. So everybody, get your GGs in for Highflyer. He's going to be the winner of this exhibition race. So very nicely done. So time ends as soon as he enters the door. And GG. So we're going to be switching over to Tanhouse's audio by default. And yeah, he's not too far behind. He's definitely making the rounds on World 8. I imagine he's going to be wrapping it up very soon as well. right, and Ikaros is going to be using her Cloud at the start of World 8, and Thanos makes his way over to Bowser's Castle. So he has a hammer suit, he's good to go. Alright, so Ikaros found her way to over to Valley of Bowser. She knows she has to play 6-7 as well. Tannhaus also getting the Everyman's clip, but is he going to get the overhead clip over the direct path to Bowser? So we got 1 attempt, we got 2. Yeah, clipping in general is a lot easier when you have P speed. So that's why you see a lot of them just running back and forth. Unfortunately, Ikaros gets Thanos gets picked off by that fireball, so he's gonna have to take the slower path to defeating Bowser. So he's gonna have to break those walls, or the floor rather. So yeah, once again, there's gonna be adjusted hitboxes, so he's gonna want to be especially careful. And you never know which direction those fireballs are gonna go in. So sometimes they can go dip directly down, or otherwise they can just go right over your head. You just never know. So that's what makes this fight so dangerous. Alright, so he's just got 1 more jump to go. Is he gonna make it? Oh, you jumped a little too early, so Bowser just kind of veered off to the left. Meanwhile, Ikaros found her way over to Bowser's Castle. But yeah, Tannhaus is able to break that last set of tiles, and he's going to be our 2nd place runner-up. So get your GGs out for Tannhaus as well on a job well done. All right. So yeah, we don't have any audio for Ikaros, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll keep things over to Tannhaus's end of the credits. So she's going to be making her way over to Bowser as well. She has the hammer suit equipped, and she gets the overhead clip. So we're just about 30 seconds away from the end. And once again, just an excellent performance on all 3 of our runners' side. They all put on a very excellent performance. So definitely do give them a follow if you haven't already. Alright, so we got the nice quick hammer kill on for Bowser on Ikaros' side. Everybody get your GGs out for all 3 of our runners. Shoutouts to Ikaros on a job well done. Alright. Alright, everybody, GGs for Ikaros as well. So I'll just be finding out momentarily if we're going to be having any interviews. Otherwise, yeah, just stay tuned. And we are joined by Highflyer and Ikaros. GG to both of you.
GG.
And we're joined by Tannhaus as well. GG to you as well. So yeah, that was quite
Thank you.
Yeah, that was that was an excellent performance by all 3 of you. Yeah, I think that the main takeaways from this was just a bit of a divergence in routing from just right in the beginning. I think the definitive thing that set, I mean, Ikaros had a pretty early lead. I know that she was the first one out of 7-9. And you guys, and all 3 of you kept it very, very close. But the main thing that set everybody apart was how everybody planned World 6. I know that Highflyer. I know Highflyer. You got all three of you got the hammer from that hammer bro fight, and
Right.
you just went for it. You broke the rock, and you just went straight to Lemmy. Ikaros played both of those forts when she didn't have to, and that's what set her apart by about a minute.
Of
And
course.
and,
Of course.
and of course, the forts that she played were 7F2 and 6F3. Not exactly like a walk in the park either. So, but I mean, performance-wise, like she kept up with pretty much everybody, and really the only time gap was just from that. She also caught up a pretty significant degree in World 8 as well. I noticed that she had very good routing on that and found Bowser relatively quickly.
Yeah, I saw the GG from Townhouse when I was doing the one-up clip, so I was like, oof, like a little bit close, and I can blame that totally. I mean, I've been away from the game for God knows how long now, and I want to say that even despite that, like feeling the peace beat strats and everything felt a little bit like weird to me. And shoutouts to trying to clip with the tail in 7-1. And also, like, I had to go through the normal route either way. And Boss Bass incident with the 3 meal course in 4-2. So
Oh.
good stuff. My up input, it's a little bit messed up.
Did you get eaten by Boss Bass or by Big Goomba Boss
By
Bass?
by Boss Bass 3 times in a
Okay,
row.
I know he changes sprites sometimes. I didn't know if he can get gobbled. I'm assuming he can still
Yeah.
get gobbled up when he's a big Goomba.
I got to see the big Goomba, yeah, like the meme, the legendary. But even despite all, well, I know that we have to keep it a little bit quick towards the interview. But all I gotta say is thank you guys for joining me in this marathon. It's always good to represent the SMB3 community, and as the Hispanic that we are, GGs to all of you, and thank you so much again for accepting the invite. So. Thanks.
Absolutely, Latino power.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Shout outs to all three of you on an excellent performance. This has been a real fun to watch, a real pleasure to watch and to commentate on. So, yeah, excellent job to all three of you. Be sure to give them a follow if you haven't already. And yeah, any other closing remarks before we move on?
Oh no, just thank you everybody for tuning in. Whether you're an English speaker, a Spanish speaker, any speakers, I know. But thank you, Ikaros, for as you said, for sending the invite to me. It's always a pleasure to represent, us for this SMB3 community, and as a Hispanic speaker myself. And yeah, it's always a pleasure. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it, and maybe we can get some new faces. You can always join us. We don't bite, so.
Only Boss Bass.
Yeah, true.
Very nice.
Yeah,
So,
thank you, Ikaros, for the invitation, and for Tix for doing comments, and for all the speed gaming stuff. And been a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, so coming up next, it looks like we have Kirby's Dreamland on the schedule. That's going to be raced by Durams, representing Colombia, and Fantasma, representing Mexico. So definitely be staying tuned for that, and enjoy the rest of the marathon. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, and take care. Thanks so much again.
See ya.
See ya.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.